There's three very core things that territory management models allow us to do. The first of which is around territory crediting. And if you think about taking the concepts around sales planning and sales operations management and integrating it seamlessly into your incentive compensation program downstream, that connective tissue is really around territory crediting. So how do you leverage the definitions and rules of these territories to effectively assign individuals to orders that they then need to be compensated on as part of the compensation program? You have full visibility in terms of how these rules translate to assigned credits on orders. So you have visibility into the orders that are in the system, who are the individuals that are going to be assigned to it, and at what split percentage are they going to receive ownership for effectively for that order. That's one example of a use case that is directly linked to the incentive compensation management piece. The other foundational component of territory management is just around reporting. How do I have visibility and insight into the performance and the market opportunity that exists within my territories? So if I were to take a look at the Midwest over here, we can see that geographically on this map, we can see a couple things. One is we could see the span of the territories and the coverage that the coverage of those territories geographically on the map, and those are delineated by the various colors that you see over here. But we also have visibility in terms of key KPIs and metrics that describe the performance and other related attributes associated to, in this particular case, an account. I can look at historical performance of this particular account. I could look at the forecast or pipeline and funnel of this account. I might want to look at drive time relative to a sales rep that's associated to this account. So when I'm thinking about optimizing drive time for field sales reps, this is critically important. So how do I get the right information to drive a narrative and convey a story to help with the sales planning process, whether it's understanding how much market opportunity exists within an account, or it might be an exercise of identifying which resources is the best to assign to a specific account. You could also look at it more holistically. If I want to look at the insights and the data and analytics for a territory as a whole, you can look at this information in aggregate as well. Again, segmentation of stores within a territory, average drive time for a sales rep, and historical performance as well. If I want to be able to comparatively measure performance from one account to another account, you can also do heat map reporting as well. So if I go ahead and select this option over here, available to me are a list of metrics that I can then run my heat map performance reporting on. In this particular case, I might want to look at year-to-date sales. And when I run this, I'll be able to see relative to one another how stores are performing in the Midwest. So my legend here suggests that the red lines or the red dots over here represent your accounts that are performing in the top 25 percentile, and in the blue, the bottom 25 percentile. And this is just one example of how we can leverage the definitions of territories to enable more strategic reporting and data insights alongside other traditional mechanisms that you use to report, whether it's dashboards, cube views, or other reporting mechanisms in OneStream. And the final and third use case around territory management, which arguably might be one of the more kind of important aspects, is around quota deployment. So when we think about allocating quotas, best practices suggest that we allocate quotas to territories, not necessarily to individuals, because individuals are constantly moving in and out of territories, and we want to have some stability in terms of how we think about our markets. And in the same way, we have the concept of having multiple territory models. We have the same concept for quota models as well. The reason being is that different roles in your organization think about quota deployment in very different ways in some cases. So you might have your strategic account executives that might do a traditional account planning exercise in terms of how they deploy quota. They have close proximity to their customers. They understand where the revenue opportunity is. They have access to the funnel, to pipeline, to wallet share, to white space, and all of those are data points that help influence how they can plan at the account level. On the other side of that, you might have inside sales reps or territory sales managers that don't have that level of knowledge of their buyers or of their customers. And so they need to take a more holistic, maybe driver-based approach and understanding what are some of the market levers that they can flex to be able to understand the opportunity that exists within their markets.